Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. If you're looking for PTCGO codes, including the stuff from Crown Zenith, make sure you check out the Potown store. You can get a 5% discount on your orders using that code OmniPoke. For today's video, we are going to be looking at the new Zacian V-Star. It's really nice that I think Crown Zenith is really tipping the cap to Zacian and Zamazenta. They were some of the best cards in the game at one point in the early stages of Sword and Shield, and we're ending giving them a few extra treats just to really hit that nostalgia and have one more try of using those intrepid swords and whatnot. The Zacian V-Star actually adds a decent number of things to the deck. Naturally, it means that we have an evolving Pokemon now as well, so we can actually get through things like Flying Pikachu quite naturally. We jump all the way up to 270 hit points, which isn't too shabby, and we gain 2 new attacks. The first is Break Edge, which is 200, isn't affected by weakness, resistance, or any effects, so it can be a wall breaker, which is really nice. But we also have the Swordstar V-Star power. For 2 metal and 2 colorless, we deal 310, and we also deal 30 to ourselves. But 310 is obviously a fantastic number at reaching on V-Star Pokemon and V-Max Pokemon, something that Zacian V wasn't very capable of doing. Like, you'd have to have convoluted combos with belts and berserkers or Leons and whatnot. That just wasn't really the case. So having this one-turn V-Star power for a huge blow-up of damage is really nice. It is an expensive attack cost, but we are playing Raihans and Metal Saucers to try and get the job done. So the new Zacian V-Star, definitely a handy card here. We are playing 2 copies, as well as 3 copies of the Zacian V. Like I said, used to be everywhere in decks and is far less so the case, but still is this really decent tempo card. We can end our opening turn on Intrepid Sword by drawing 3 cards, and if any number of Metal Energy are in those top 3, we can attach them immediately to the Zacian V, which is very, very handy. And we still have that Brave Blade attack, which is keeping many decks honest. 230 hit points is a really good number dealing with basic V Pokemon. And I do think this deck is actually a threat when it goes first, because with the likes of Mew, Greninja, Intrepid Sword, and our supporter cards, we actually can grow quite a substantial hand and be threatening Cross Switcher or boss KOs on evolving 2-prize Pokemon. So things like Lugia have to put 2 Vs down into play and actually sort of respect that we can try and pop off on them, which is really nice. We're trying this in a similar shell to how we've seen Vikavolt recently. So we are playing the Mysterious Tailed Mews, the Radiant Greninja, the Trekking Shoes, the VIP Pass, all that sort of stuff. Very, very similar. Instead of Melanie, we play 2 Avery and 2 Bird Keepers. Bird Keepers allow us to move in and out, nullifying the Brave Blade text, or we can just evolve out, but also give us extra dips with Mysterious Tail, which is really nice. Avery being a tech card for Reggies, which otherwise would be a pretty bad matchup, and can also try and slow down some Mew players as well. Make sure things like Oricorio are off the board so we can take knockouts with our V-Star power is actually pretty massive, and just hurting their push potential in general, maybe getting rid of some Genesects and whatnot can hurt their draw a little bit. So I'd really like these combination of supporters. We have low counts of everything, but they all can chip in and have a little bit of help here and there. Raihan obviously being a massive one for making sure we keep up on energy attachments. Having 3 and 4 energy attack costs is quite high. Even with the Metal Saucer helping out, Raihan is going to be very helpful at cherry picking some pieces. Like I said, we have Fish and Bat to try and help us get there. I am playing Choice Belt and Zig in the deck as well. This can help out against knocking out some extra V-Stars as well with that Brave Blade. It's a bit of a convoluted combo, but again, Raihan can help us out here every now and then. And things like Choice Belt onto your Swordstar then means you're hitting things like Duraludon or getting past an Oricorio'd Mew, that sort of thing, which does seem to grant some value. Outside of that, we have the Scoop Up Nets and the Cross Switchers for extra pivoting options, but also allowing us to reuse Mew and Radiant Greninja. We have lots of Ball Search with the 2 Ultra, 2 Quick, and 3 VIP to try and get us rolling. And we have the Hisuian, because we have lots of important one-offs. You'll obviously see a Drapion in here as well, allowing us to have easy races against Mew, where we can try and knock out 1 V-Max Pokemon with the Drapion. And then we're looking to do like Cross Switcher boss plays with our Zacians, or we can try and get 1 big sword start off as well. So we can win that game in 2 attacks, or we can try and win in 3. Just weaving in Gust around the Mew for at least 1 of the, or like 2 of the turns, when we can Dynamic Tail for 1 of those turns, which is looking pretty nice for a race. We are playing a couple Temple of Sinnoh. Again, more headache for Reggies. Try and throw spanners in the works, slow them down tempo-wise, because we are mostly a 2-prize attacking deck, so we have to slow them down in one way or another. But also this is going to try and slow down Lugia a little bit as well, try and turn off their powerful colorless so your V-Star actually survives hits, or also try and shut down their Auroras at times as well. It's going to be a nice option to go for. Other than that, pretty straightforward deck. I don't think this is super high tier, but I'm hoping that the way I've built it means that we at least have game plans into some of the main decks in the format. So let's see how it goes on the ladder. Definitely fun, like I said, to tip the cap to Zacian, which was once like the big bag of the format, once had like some of the best stats on offer, and now it's kind of just less and less used, kind of redundant, which is a crazy thing to think about. But so is the power of ADP, I suppose. Both players are going to mulligan here, so we at least get some information of what our opponent's playing. We are going second, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Looks like we are up against Arceus, Duraludon. Not necessarily a bad matchup for us, because our Zacian V-Stars are kind of tanky and do really good numbers, so we might actually be pretty okay here. They're also not really a deck that puts massive early game pressure on us. Them starting a Crobat is so good for us as well. It might give us a very easy prize map, so looking pretty good so far. Like I said, our 1 V-Star power can give us an easy boot into a Duraludon V Max, so that could be huge. They do go Arc Energy Pass, not too bad. We pick up the VIP, which is absolutely busted. So our turn is going to be much better now. Definitely like going early Greninja Zacian. Start getting those energy in the discard pile. We do have both Raihan and we have all of our sources, which is looking insane. We have all 4 cross switches if I want to try and make a huge play this turn. It would really have to come together with the help of Greninja and some other stuff. I don't think I want to commit to a supporter just yet, because I don't really know which one I want to go for. It might end up being Bird Keeper if I can get into some sources and whatnot, but otherwise I just want to end on an Intrepid Sword. So let's... I think because I have net, I don't mind just playing the Avery here, just for the +3. Another VIP looking pretty good, so I can do more Mew plays here. I may as well just pull the other Zacian out of deck. Don't see a reason to not. And let's start looking for cross switches, I suppose, and also sources. I'll keep a cross switcher. We'll net a Mew. I can always just leave a Mysterious Tail active this turn. Saucer looking very good. We're not a million miles away from a heroic play. I would have to net the Greninja and then Greninja into exactly Saucer and exactly Cross Switcher. But I like banking the energy in the discard pile anyway, because I'm going to end my turn playing the Saucer most likely, because the Arceus deck doesn't play many damage mods typically. So I'll definitely play a Saucer. I'll certainly attach for turn. I like benching another Mew. I think I like attaching the belt to the other Zacian. I kind of want to keep the V-Star power open for the Duraludon though. So perhaps my players Choice Belt here, looking to get like Zig Ping finish off next turn. And then keep my V-Star open for Duraludon. I think that's probably our best move. Keep the board space open for Fish next turn, but I'm pretty sure I'm happy using Intrepid on this Zacian. And we hit the other pieces that we were looking for, actually. So that's looking pretty okay. Let's see how the opponent's hand is looking. It's very possible for me as well to... Looks like they've got straight into V-Star. Cross-switcher Duraludon next turn. Because a regular V has effective 250 hit points, right? So me dealing with a V early could be really nice, because the V's tank, like our Zacians tank the Arceus, but not the Duraludon, so it's really important to get through these. Oh, they have the Tool Jammer. Get wrecked. Oh no. So I suppose I have to go after Arceus then. The Tool Jammer blocks our Sword Star Belt combo. What a huge pickup for them. They do bench another Duraludon, but I imagine all the energies are going on to the Jammed one. They might also do a split here. Maybe 2 and 1. Nope, they just go all in here. Interesting. Definitely interesting. I could try and V-Star through this guy, knowing I have V-Star and Crobat as the remaining prizes. Definite potential for that to be my turn here. Let's start with the concealed cards. Then I think I want to tail. I think I don't mind just having the easy fodder here with VIP to hand. Yeah, if I just go V-Star power through this guy, it means I'm probably gusting around the Duraludon, like, again. I guess he has to come up with Arceus again next turn. Only real problem being that I'd be committing my belt, and then I will be so low into this Arc V-Star. So I want to possibly Zignet the active instead. So I might be going Bird Keeper, Zignet, KO active. I think that's a slightly stronger play. Let's Saucer. Let's Bird Keeper. I think I want to make the most out of this belt while I have it. There's your 280. We'll start getting to work on the next Zacian. Let's evolve this one. And let's take the Brave Blade prizes. I think this makes the most sense to cash in on the belt. But we'll have to see. Our hand is looking pretty massive, so they probably need to hand disrupt us if we're going to have any troubles this game. They're going to get an attachment into the bench. It is going to be a money, which is pretty massive for them, to be honest. Our hand was insane. We do pick up Boss, which is actually pretty huge. It's going to be the pulverization. I think it's a pretty easy just Boss break edge. I don't see a reason to do anything else, so... Because we still have nets left, right? Oh, I only have one net left, actually. So I will be working towards cross switches again next turn. And they could evolve out of it, so it could become a longer slog, but this definitely makes the most sense for me. Like, hitting the Dura here for 200 has big risks with hyper pop plays that they could make. Bloon's a pretty nice pickup. I wonder if they'll start bossing this turn. No, they're going to research. So I have a free hit this turn with my Zacian V-Star. He's just going to hit for 220. I can get some cheeky healing as well. Look at the value. That's good. Temple's actually kind of good as well for whatchamacallit, hyper potion plays, trying to deny them. We're going to Ultra Ball. I'm going to get rid of Zacian V-Star just so I can see more from Crobat. Gonna Temple. We're gonna Balloon the bench. Let's see some cards. Okay. Definitely like Bird Keeps. I really want to get space for the other Zacian, actually. I'm thinking about it now and how bad it would be if I am just board locked here. Oh, I shouldn't go into the Mew, right? Because the Air Balloon's actually locked, so I should just Avery here. Net plus Quick Ball is insanely good for us. I'm definitely going to pick this up. I think I want to get rid of the Zigzagoon. Let's get our Zacian. I want to cycle towards Raihan as much as I can, so I think the turn is just draw 2 more. I have so many of these. I suppose I could Cross Switcher and just make them have the extra metal in hand and make it harder for them to make a Hyper Potion play. It's just that I want Cross Switchers again next turn for game, right? Next turn I have to Raihan Saucer attach Cross Switcher because I need to Sword Star this turn to play around Hyper Pot. So otherwise I'm doing 200 plus 230. No, that's not enough. So we have to play like this. We have to Sword Star. For them to Hyper Pot, they still need to bounce Stadium and have DTE in hand and Hyper Pot. So it's still a big combo that they need in hand. My big worry is that our hand just goes nowhere right now. I'm mostly hoping that they pay Retreat to unlock my Cross Switchers, honestly. Alright, it's going to be a research, so unfortunately I keep the hand. I'd much prefer Romani here. Alright, this is looking like they're going to make a retreat play. The Define Cave. They have to pay retreat here, right? There's no way they don't pay retreat. Yeah. Alright. I think Raihan top deck is our best chance of winning here. It's very sad to say it, but Metal Energy top deck isn't bad either. I want to start with the Mew, actually, because I want to be able to use my Air Balloon. The Jammer's making things so awkward all game. Source is actually a bad piece of the puzzle because it isn't the Raihan piece. I could Mysterious Tail for the Raihan. I think I'm just in a bad way here. I mean, I can bring up the other Dura and just Intrepid Sword. But we're not in great shape. I have to do this, which isn't Raihan, obviously. And we just attach Cross Switch Intrepid. So we're losing to Switch Card plus... Well, no, Switch Card wins them the game. They have played a Switch. So they need to hit their one-of Rope, most likely. Are we gonna slide dog our way to it? Yes, we are. Insane. Okay. That was a really weird game. The Tool Jammer did so much work for them. Holy. Made life so much more difficult for us. Tool Jammer's not very often played in Dura, right? It's normally just Parasols these days, so... Heads up for the Gym Jammer. Looks like they were digging towards... I assume they play Rope, right? They normally Arctura plays one Switch, one Rope. Yeah, tight game. Let's try and get another one. Definitely some strange decision trees there. But it worked out, I suppose. Let's go first. We love going first with this deck. It's a much better deck going first. I feel like you can actually beat stuff when you go first. Like, actually good decks you can beat. Unless they're Lost Box. I think this deck has a really bad Lost Box matchup. Ah, Lost Box, is it? Thought it might be. Okay. Well, at least we're drawing good. To start things off. We basically just have to make our Zacians as big as possible, right? Get in with as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible. We can hope that it's Goodra. Goodra would be much better for us. Still tricky, but definitely better for us if it's playing multi-prizes. Pretty good turn one for us here. We get the free attachment with the Intrepid. That's always a great thing to see. We bank a Metal Energy for some sauce for next turn. Escape Rope is looking pretty awkward for them because we have Greninja right now. So a few things going our way. It is actually Goodra. That's actually way better for us. Because I can try and deal with this Goodra very quickly. We're already holding Cross Switchers and Boss. I probably need to Bird Keeper to try and hit the Metal Energy. I could also Mysterious Tail into Saucer. Yeah, we're blocking the Rope really nicely here. Scoop Up Net. Try and nullify the early Cram hit. They just have the Rope again. I really want this Mew, actually, to... grant me some value. So I'm thinking of going Zacian instead. I'd have to Bird Keep it into Mew. Then I could either Cross Switch it or Boss. Yeah, I think it makes sense to do this. Alright, I think I start with Bird Keeper. Really want to see energy here, and we do. I even hit Court. Now, Court can be good for them, because it gives them Greninja draws. Do I need to draw anything else this turn? Not really, so I think I'm holding Court. So we're going Mysterious Tail. Do I want to... Yeah, I could Belt Up and Break Edge, but I can also just hold it in hand, right? Or I could evolve the bench and stay out of a Cram hit. I think that makes sense. Let's bring up the Goo. This is why we're such a decent deck going... going first, because we just have that pressure and we draw enough cards in the opening to actually make this play fairly often. They're not a hand disruption deck, so I'm not going to play this Air Balloon out. I might need to Air Balloon myself next turn. Or I can just evolve into V-Star. Some Raihans off the prizes. Actually, one of the matchups where it's kind of less good. It's not going to be online for a while. Yeah, they just concede, actually. So thanks to them having some multi-prizes in the deck, we actually have a win con, which is good. Definitely like to see that. Let's get another game in. We're slicing through the big tanky decks right now. Tempoing out on the goo. Always a nice feeling. I mean, 350 would be too chunky for us, but we could try and make a hero play of Cross Switcher boss, right? Bring it in and out and then V-Star power through it. We definitely don't want to see, like, Rayquaza. That's the scariest Lost Box for us. Or I guess Radiant Charizard is also very scary because it hits for weakness too. Let's get another game in. So far, a pretty scuffed game against Dura that's gone our way. And then a goo, where we went first and just kind of tempoed out, which is a really nice feeling. I don't call it Turbo Zacian for nothing. Flying Peak. Wonder what we're going to be up against here. Is it going to be an Arceus deck? Or is it going to be... Yeah, Sharon's Care means it's an Arc deck, right? Arc decks typically aren't that bad for us. Especially because they just got rid of... Oh, they got rid of Pump. I thought it was Zigzagoon. I was thinking, if they can't hit the 220 on our Zacians, it's really good for us. I'm going to start with the VIP. I think I just go double Zacian. I suppose I could get Mew in the mix. With the net in hand. Let's Concealed. I can actually make a monster put. Wow, that's a good card for our monster push as well. Thinking we can make an absolutely crazy turn happen here. Well, it's looking very good actually. If we could cycle towards another Saucer and Cross Switcher, I can just detonate the Arceus. That can go. Not too helpful. So we net the Greninja and try again. We're hoping to hit either Saucer or Cross Switcher and then tail into the other piece. No dice. The Saucer doesn't make actually much sense, right? Because I would just be passing with it anyway. So I think I'm meant to take the VIP and just go attach Saucer to one Zacian and then do the other Intrepid Sword. Alright. Not quite the dream combo, but they didn't attach turn one, so I'm feeling pretty good about the position anyway. Like, stuff's just going to get bigger now, right? Too chonky for me. There's the Flying P. We used to cower in fear at Flying P, but now we have a V-Star. You love to see it. It's going to be a Judge. Ruining all our hard work. You get a very playable hand. I wonder what they go for here. Do they go Arc V plus DTE? Or do they have something else planned? Bidoof. What is this? Okay, it was Arc V DTE in some form. In some respect. The path is actually like very heads up from them. Oh my goodness. Well, at least that's something. Is the net... No, it's not much better. The path definitely doing business. I definitely like the Cross Switcher option. I definitely like evolving as well. Actually, they don't have any way to one-bop my Vs. I think I'm just meant to hold here. Let's just pass. We are an ability-reliant deck, there's no doubt about that. Our opponent can incisors their way back up to a decent hand size here. They get a Serena for Gust. They're going to get a Max Balloon in. The source is so sad. Let's cross switch here. I suppose. So I can Saucer take prize. I think because I just need better cards in hand, I probably should Saucer take prize. Do I want to evolve the other one? I think I do, because he's not going to bench any other just basic Vs, right? Let's do this and take our prize. We're technically ahead, it's just our hand is in an awful state right now. The path is doing bits. Money's very good for us here. We really want to get towards Raihan. Failing that, just any supporter will do. Alright, Avery. They have the double Drapion package going on. Bit of a counter toolbox. Volo as well, that would be scary for us to deal with. Wow, they actually do bench another Arc for us as well. Our prize map is pretty nicely laid out. It's Bibarel plus Pika. I just have to do it in time. The good news is they don't have very high damage output, so I should have time to do it. I just need them to not get a proactive hit on this Zacian, basically. That would be really bad for us. Let's draw our 3. Okay, well at least Saucer's good. Suppose it's the shoe. If the shoe fits, he must wear it. This can go. This can definitely come down. I think it's just Saucer attach pass. The good news is, like, if they do just boss Balloon here, I at least get to cash in on my 3 prize knockout. It's just how I get my Bibarel prizes. I really need to bounce this path pretty soon. That's the long story short. I'm gonna get judged again. They're just taking a 1 prize knockout this turn, which is really good for us. We get back into a energyless hand. You hate to see it. Now it gets stressful. Do I promote the Zacian? Knowing I might just be hitting for 200. I suppose so. 2 honeys. Oh, right hand is busted here. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're in it. We're in it, baby. We are so in this. I want to keep my cross switcher around, right? So let's just get rid of Ultra Ball. Let's grab this. This is huge. Because we get to go attach. And V-Star, very happy with that. And then we'll go Sword Star for the 3 prize KO. And we're currently holding boss game. I don't see an easy way for them to knock this Zacian off the board. They can continue to hand disrupt though. That's the one thing they can do. I'm hoping the Temple makes life awkward for them as well, perhaps. But no, it doesn't look like it. Alright, they're back to Path. And the Marnie. Okay, so they've definitely done well at disrupting our win con this turn. Getting back into Raihan's not as good as it actually looks this time around. The source is very good though. That's looking pretty nice because now I could attach retreat the Mew possibly. Do I retreat the Zacian is the question as well. Retreat this Zacian, hit with the other one. At least forces Gust. Yeah. Let's do this. Because otherwise we'd fall prey to a Sharon's. Now they can't Sharon's and Gust in the same turn. They're going to get Flying P into play. I suppose it's just as vulnerable as an Arceus at this point. They're going to play a switch. There's the DTE. They do have the boss's orders, so they're putting us on a 1-turn clock. So I need to Mew into Cross Switcher. By the looks of things. Alright, well the balloon means I have one more chance. I guess I could have just paid retreat as well. Cross Switcher. Hate to see it. I can, I suppose, Raihan for Stadium, and Stadium lets me Greninja hit exactly the things that I need. I suppose. Yeah, I need to hit exactly double Cross Switcher now. Pog? Hate to see it. Actually pretty unlucky to miss double dip of the Mews there. We had 2 cross switches in the deck. Of what was it, 15 cards? We were actually fairly likely, to be honest with you. But yeah, they do get the best of us there. Oh, Path still doing Path things. There's definitely an argument to play Lost Vacuum in here, so you can try and hit a Stadium Bounce off of a Mew. There's also an argument to playing Pump, I guess, just because we are super vulnerable to it. But yeah, that's the Zacian V-Star deck. We had some good games, to be fair. Some close games. You always like seeing more multi-prize decks, let's be completely honest about that. You don't have much game into Lost Box. You at least have some game into Reggie with double Avery, double Temple. You try and make them have good hands the whole time. So yeah, that's the deck. Let me know what you think about Zacian V-Star. Is it going to be competitive? Is it one last ride for Intrepid Sword? I'll hear it all down below, and I'll see you tomorrow for another video. Cheers.